But yeah, this game's good. They need more gameplay of it. If you're watching this and have this game, record something, please. Like, because there's so many games like this, these sort of retro games. Alright. Dead dude, dead dog. Cool. These retro games kind of survive on word of mouth. I heard about this game off of somebody doing gameplays on YouTube. Didn't even do a gameplay of this, but just mentioned it in passing and mentioned how good it was. And so I kind of looked into it, and that was basically that. And I know, I think the dude's name's Duke Bilgewater, if I'm not mistaken, ran this at AGDQ. I don't know if he did it last year, but I know he did it the year before. Anyway, it's not super important, but I know he does speedruns of this game. I think I mentioned before, this is a super speedrunnable game. So those are both nice, but it's one of those things where that's, I don't know, I guess that shit doesn't cut it. Like, there needs to be more talk about it. And I shouldn't be talking about like it's some like indie gem. Like, people know about this game. They had enough funding to release. They're coming out with a sequel in a couple months. Or I think they said third quarter of 2014, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe several months from now. So like it's not that this company's struggling, I guess, but it's just one of those games that's super sick and just just not a lot of people have heard about it, I guess, and it's kind of a shame. But you know, whatever. I mean, I also at the same time don't think this game would appeal to everybody. Gore aside, it's super fucking frustrating. Like, if you see this is the beginning of this level. That guy's there. If I hit this guy with the sled pipe, I don't think he goes down. Like, I think that would have hit him if it was a normal enemy. So I basically just have to run it and hope he doesn't fucking shoot me. There probably is a better way. Yeah, maybe if I go farther to the left wall, he won't get a beat on me as easily. Alright, well, I guess that just shows how little I actually know about this game. But it's super fucking frustrating. The average person who plays video games to kind of, I guess, unwind or some shit. I think that's indicative. That's another reason that this game wouldn't really make it as a mainstream title, is that it's fucking hard, and you don't see hard games anymore. You got fucking Dark Souls, Demon Souls, the whole Souls series, I guess, that are tough. Supposedly, I've honestly never played them. I'm sorry. I know that's a fucking travesty because they're apparently the best games in the world. I have nothing against them. I just have never gotten around to playing them, I guess. But you look at those games that, from everything that everyone's told me, they're actually not that hard. They're just comparatively hard because every other game nowadays, every other AAA title like that, is so fucking handholdy. It's so like based on, like, every game nowadays is fucking baby's first video game. Because game companies are so afraid that they're gonna get this reputation. You see that guy just fucking clipped through the wall up there in that last death? That was sick. But game companies are so afraid of releasing games that people aren't gonna beat. And it's one of those things where it's like a multifaceted issue. You look at games journalism and it's super fucked. Like, games journalists have, a few days to complete the game, and if they don't beat it, or if it's too tough for them, it's gonna result in a bad review, which can be death, especially to something like this that's not gonna have the money. Fuck you. God, this guy. It's not gonna have the money to launch some fucking giant advertising campaign. You don't see Hotline Miami fucking TV commercials, things like that. So really, like, one bad review can kind of be damning for a game like this, and a game company like this too. Like, if you're an indie developer, you have your game. It's not like fucking your EA where you have 8 games going on at once. You're an indie developer, you usually got a game, and every time you release a game, it has to do at least reasonably well, or else you're fucked and you've got to go back to working in a fucking Pizza Hut or whatever. So I get that you want to kind of make games easy for that reason, but I'll steal a line from Matt from Two Best Friends Play, in that there should be a difficulty setting that's just games journalist, and it's the easiest shit, and you just do it and you click a button and it finishes the game for you. Because that's really what we need, because games shouldn't be penalized for being hard. This game wouldn't be nearly as addicting or as time consuming or anything. It wouldn't be as good if it wasn't so fucking frustrating. The grind is part of the game, But the average consumer, I think, doesn't get that and wouldn't get that. And especially nowadays, kids who are growing up on these games, who never had the fucking original Doom game that calls you a fucking pussy for quitting, or you know, games that are just fucking hard. They don't really exist anymore. So I think the average kid who never grew up on that isn't going to fuck this guy finally. Jesus, I died, but I'm just so glad I shot that guy. But the average kid just isn't gonna have that sort of learning curve on it. In the same way that if, you know, a kid goes to school and is handheld all the way, and then he goes to college and it's rough for him, he's gonna have a shitty time. It's kind of like that. Kids aren't ever taught. I keep saying kids, but the new generation of gamers, I guess, if you want to put a way more nerdy spin on it, they're just never taught the value of, I'm gonna do this fucking level 1,000 times and I'm gonna beat it and it's gonna be the most fucking satisfying thing in the world. It's more like, oh no, you're hurt, go crouch and cover, you have fucking auto-regenerating health. The idea of fucking first aid kits in games is gone. Just, I don't know, it's kind of nitpicky, I guess, but that's the problem with the industry today, if you ask me, is that a lot of game companies are afraid of making a good fucking hard, challenging game because they need to cater to a bunch of shit kids that don't fucking know what a hard game is and would just get super frustrating and quit. So that kind of sucks, I guess. I mean, there was no real point to that topic, I guess, besides the fact that this game's rough, and I guess that's why a lot of people don't play it. Fuck me! That door just ate my shot, but that's fine. That was basically my fault. I can't even blame the mechanics on that. This level, by the way, it's pretty late to say it. I fucking hate this level. I fucking hate it. This is my arguably my least favorite level in the game, just because of this intro sequence here. This fucking thing sucks dick. Like, it's just, I don't know. There's no other way to phrase it. It sucks. To the point that it's kind of ruining this video. And I'm a big believer in just non-editing, which is part for integrity and part because I'm fucking lazy and don't want to go back and touch this up. But I don't know how much longer I can keep grinding this fucking level before it gets way too fucking boring to actually put up. So I'm going to try and take this a little more seriously. Alright, this is going to be the run right here. I'm not going to talk, I'm sorry. Which might be a blessing in disguise, what am I kidding? Oh shit! Alright, well that didn't go... That went well, but I got close, but that wasn't it. This level, by the way, has probably consumed like a total like 15 hours of my time. I mean, that's kind of an exaggeration, but I remember grinding this level more than... This might be the level I've ground the most of any level. Besides maybe, there's one level... It might actually be the second floor of this level if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not though. That's just all glass. It's a bunch of like these little like glass cubicles basically. That level fucking sucks. If it's the upper level of this, then this level's officially gonna take a fucking half hour to do. But I guess this is the beauty of it, and it's one of those things where I'm talking so it's a little different, but I'm not bored. I'm kind of fucking frustrated, but I haven't had any quit yet. Oh, I forgot about that, grabbing hostages. That's one of those little gameplay elements that's like not fully fleshed out, and they don't really tell you about it. But if you have certain guns, or any gun maybe, I'm not sure, because I never fucking do it, you can grab human shields. Let's see if I can peg this guy around the corner. Nope. Alright. Nothing in that. Alright, cool. Got a lot of double barrels, got really shitty gun luck there. That was my bad. That was me thinking about something. About talking about gun luck than actually getting it done. But at the same time, even though I know this is kind of a clusterfuck and I'm doing super poorly here, there is a feeling of satisfaction every time I get 2 feet closer to the finish of the level. And that really is quintessentially the appeal of this game. I'm gonna grab this knife. I may choose to edit this out, maybe not. So, you know, I guess that's that. Depending on how long this goes, I'm not necessarily opposed, because I kind of want to give like a even-handed sort of view of this game, and this is what you're going to be doing, especially when you first play and you're kind of not great at it. This is going to be a lot of the game, is running and killing the same enemies over and over, ascribing personalities to them, and then killing them. Shit like that, just to get through it. But at the same time, I don't want this video to go too long, so depending on the timing of it, how long this takes, I might cut some of this out. And the other thing too is seeing this little of the game. There's so little to fucking talk about. What might be worth doing, I don't know. It's one of those things I feel dumb doing it, but it might be worth switching masks. There's a mask that gives you a gun. It's a silenced Uzi. You find it in one of the levels. The mask that is. Maybe worth grabbing if I can't finish it in like this run or the next. But again, that plays into that like stubborn like frustration thing, is that you don't want to change your mask. You don't want to change your routing even. It's one of those things where the game convinces you so much that what you're doing is the right thing. You just were too slow. You just weren't looking in the right direction, something like that. So you just keep doing the same shit over and over, which just makes you more and more frustrated. And you know in the back of your head, like, oh, it's because I'm doing the same thing. But you've done it so many fucking times that you're committed to it. It's like when you start watching a shitty TV show, and this has happened to me recently. You start watching a shitty TV show, and you don't realize until you're like balls deep in it, you're like 4 or 5 episodes in, you're like, this show fucking sucks. It sucks since the beginning, but I didn't know it. But I'm gonna keep fucking watching it because I've already invested this much time into it. It's kind of how this game is, and that's why you don't quit. In that you get this far in a level, you have nothing to show for it besides fucking frustration and like fucking fingernail marks in your palm. But you've invested this much time in trying to fucking grind it out that you can't quit. You can't let this shit beat you. And that's what the subtitle for this fucking game is will you let this game kick your ass? Oh shit, that was so bad. Again, that was what happened there was me trying to pull an execution with the space. You use the space bar and you'll kind of get on top of your enemy and beat him to death. That's what how the executions work. But if you have a gun, I had that double-barreled shotgun. Space bar is the same button for grabbing a human shield. So what you do for an execution is you hit the space bar and you kind of get on top of them, and then you click the left mouse button to complete the execution. So what happened there was I hit the space bar and I took him hostage, and I clicked the right mouse button, or left mouse button rather, and that shot the gun into a wall. But since I wasn't expecting that to happen, I kind of lost track of what was going on, and then I wound up getting fucked up. I think this one right here, this run right here, if I don't get it, I'm going to switch to Richter, which is the dude with the machine gun. And there's no saying that that's going to work at all. There's no saying that that's going to be the decisive factor, but it's worth a shot. So we're going to restart here. Go down over here. These are all the masks if you want to. I should probably go more slowly through them. That just show all the different gameplay stuff that you can now choose. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to try to shoot this guy from here. Alright, cool. That worked out really well. Alright, so that triggered that dude to come running. I don't know if he's going to make it all the way here, though. Oh, he made it. Alright, cool. Sometimes that'll happen where you'll trigger an enemy to charge at you, but halfway through he'll get lost, or he'll think about eating a bologna sandwich or some shit, and he'll just stop charging you completely, and he'll wind up just in the middle of the level, just kind of standing there. Which can make it kind of rough to predict, like, where enemies are going to wind up then. I like how that dude knocked his other friend out with the door there because he was running too fast. Yeah, there's only so much I can do from this window here. Gun gameplay, like, having this gun here actually totally changes strategies. I shouldn't say totally, but it allows me to, if there's somebody else standing there, I can kind of get them through there. And there are certain levels like that where if you start without a gun, you're not going to get a gun to the middle of the level, so you can't. There's certain guys that you kind of just have to look at and you can't kill till later. But when you start with a gun, it will switch it up. It'll give you the ability, obviously, to go through and get them. Alright, got that. Alright, let's see if I can get this guy with the fucking up. There is no ammo in that gun. I'm glad I noticed that. Oh, thank fucking God. Alright, so that's over and done with. But now the problem is I have this fucking Richter mask on. And you only, since I used all that ammo in my, my Uzi, now I'm basically just fighting without a mask perk. Because my punches are back to being normal and shitty. It's kind of rough, especially because I'm so dependent on the killing punches that I can predict I'm going to die because I punched a guy and expected him to die and he stood back up. This guy's still alive. That guy's got a knife. Alright, fuck. That was a bad situation. There is a lot of, like, enemy prioritization in this game, where a guy's gonna be, you'll knock a guy down and you want to go and execute him immediately, but you know there's a guy coming at you around a corner, things like that. You kind of have to pick and choose, like, alright, I'm going to kill this guy first, which is going to make this guy react in a certain way, so then I'm going to react to that. So there's a lot of, I mean, you just saw it right there, a lot of back and forth turning, and kind of just choosing what target you're going for at any given time, but you kind of have to be thinking a step ahead of where you're playing, because some of these dudes move fucking fast as shit like that. Alright, and I ran out of ammo and didn't even notice. So you kind of have to predict enemy movement, especially in a level like this where there's a lot of enemies and they're in a very close quarters, and a lot of them are reacting. I think I talked about that in the last video. That's kind of hard to predict. Sometimes dudes will react to gunfire, sometimes they won't. And it can even be the same guy. Like, the AI is just, I don't know if that's supposed to be a feature, because it does mix it up and it works well, but I can't imagine how you would actually go ahead and try to program that. But anyway, like, you'd think like, oh, the distance from gunfire or the how often a gun is fired would trigger them, but no, it's literally sometimes they just don't care that guns are being shot. And it could be the exact same dude in the exact same position. That one life he'll be super reactive to it, and the next life he won't. Fuck that dog. Alright, that totally caught me off guard and made me jump actually. Okay, knocked himself out with the door. That was cool. That was me expecting I had the Tony mask on again, so now I have to execute both of these guys. The executions are kind of rough. Getting on top of them, like I said, you have to get on top of them, or like in their little like hitbox or whatever for it, and hit the spacebar. Getting into that actual space, or that, what do you want to call it? The hitbox, where the spacebar will actually do something, it's fucking finicky. It's the only way to describe it, is just finicky as shit. Let's see if I can get this guy. Alright, good. I got that guy, and then that triggered this guy here. Yeah, like getting in that hitbox, especially on the fly, like if somebody's attacking you, or you know he's about to stand back up, it's kind of tough to consistently get in that hitbox quickly. If you have a couple seconds to sort of line it up, it's cool. Shit, that was totally my bad. But yeah, just doing it like quickly like that right there, like getting in that, it kind of sucks. The other thing is too, depending on the position they land in, there will be different execution animations. So if they fall against a wall, shit. If they fall against the wall, you just kick them in the face basically and kill them. But if they land like that, you actually have to smash their head against the floor, and that takes a few seconds longer. So you kind of have to, and it's something that sort of at least to me, it came naturally after a certain amount of gameplay. But there are certain dudes in certain positions that you just have to leave and do something like that, where they'll fall to the ground, they stand back up, and you knock them back down again, without pulling off the execution. It's just one of those things. It's a feel thing, but it gets rough. So that's an example of the guy falling against the wall and you just kick him. But I also think it's cool, and it's indicative of how well put together this game is, that something like that, just execution animations, there's so much thought that's gone into it, and that, oh, these dudes are actually going to fall in different patterns, things like that. God damn it.